There are so many things that you can do in Blender, and still sometimes it might feel like you have no idea what you can make today. Just look at the computer with no ideas. So in this video, I'm going to show you 10 ways that you can use Blender today and walk away with a really cool animation or just some new knowledge. Each one of these examples that I'm talking about today has its own YouTube tutorial that I'm linking in the description. So there's 10 links in the description that you can click and learn the full project and how to do it. So let's start with the first one. This animation is part of a series where I'm showing how to use Blender like you would After Effects or Photoshop. This animation shows a trick where you can use geometry nodes to identify separate objects or faces. Then you can send that information to the shading. In this example in the tutorial, I'm using a wave texture across all of the shapes, and then the random info that I sent to the shading will let you randomize the phase offset and get a really cool effect, and also let you animate that movement. Now, this isn't just exclusive to 2D animations. This is an effect that I use across tons of my animations, 2D and 3D, and it's super powerful. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know that I absolutely love to make a seamless loop, and I discovered a new way to make one recently. So in this project, I figured out how to stack objects in an array and then make that movement loop. All of these animations are made by instancing and animating objects on a mesh line. And all you need to do is add the value on the top to the value on the bottom, and then you can keyframe that. Again, these animations are tagged in the description, so if you want to learn exactly what I'm talking about, you can click one of the links in the description. And once you keyframe all of that, it is going to be a perfect loop. And then for the rest of the tutorial, I'll show you how to use that and make a beautiful glass animation. This next tutorial is also part of my Using Blender Like It's After Effects series. What we're going to do is just take some very basic flat text, put it in geometry nodes, and distribute enough particles on it to where it looks solid again. Then in geometry nodes, we can use a few cool nodes to displace the text. The biggest thing to learn in this video is those flat portions where it's not displaced are really important to make the text readable, and then you can displace it and make it look really cool. One of my favorite parts of the tutorial is you can use that information from the displacement that moves the particles around and actually use that to color the text. So the text is blue and the displaced parts are red, and it looks really, really cool. Now, right now, I'm kind of obsessed with making glass animations. If you've been watching the channel, you definitely know that. But in this video, I'm gonna break down 6 individual glass animations that I did and walk through my workflow on each one of them. I'll show you how to achieve really cool refraction effects, how to animate the lighting to get the glass to bend that light, and also glass can take a long time to render, so I show you how to shorten and optimize your render times. This tutorial is pretty dense with a lot of information. Now this animation, I think it's called like making your strings, how to make perfect strings in Blender. It's really just me kind of having fun. I was really inspired by a bunch of string artworks that I found on Pinterest, and I wanted to see if I could make it in Blender. I think one of the best bits in this is using the curve node to flatten the bottom of them so it's flat with kind of these hills on top. The flat portion really anchors these animations and gives you way more control over the hills. Also in the tutorial, I'll show you how you can make the strings look a little bit more string-like by adding some randomization in the displacement position so that it doesn't just look like a noise texture, but it actually looks like the strings have a mind of their own and look string-like. This tutorial is one of the more imperfect tutorials, mostly because it's a pretty limited feature, but it's still pretty cool. In the tutorial, I'll show you how to make a bunch of particles and get them to glide across a surface. It is very simple, but once you play with noise textures, get those particles to move around in a really interesting way, it's actually an incredibly fun workflow. The biggest problem is unless you're animating particles on a single face, or in this case, like a cube, so you still kind of have that single face action, it's pretty ugly. Like if you have geometry, if it's a really dense mesh, it's just not gonna look good. So it's very limited, but within its limitation, I think it's really, really fun. Now, if you don't like geometry nodes, you don't want to be using geometry nodes all the time, this animation has absolutely no geometry nodes. So this animation takes a spinning spiral and rolls a ball on top of it. Now this is tricky because I wanted those two actions to loop seamlessly, and the ball has to actually look like it's rolling on top of the array. Now that might sound kind of confusing, but it's actually incredibly simple to do. So if you want to learn that, again, that one is linked in the description. If you've never heard of recursive subdivision, this next tutorial might be a perfect way to learn it. So in the tutorial, you're going to learn how to make recursive subdivision and I'll show you some really cool ways to use it. Now, recursive subdivision, what happens is you create a series of larger and smaller faces, and then using a repeat zone, you can repeat that action and get a massive amount of random face detail. The whole goal of this tutorial was to find some creative application of that technique. By the end of the tutorial, we'll make a really cool image, and hopefully you can walk away with some ways that you can take this recursive subdivision and actually make something really cool and creative with it. Now, for the longest time, if I had a curve with some geometry on it and I wanted to animate a wave texture on it, I couldn't, because there would be this problem where the wave would kind of cut off and would completely ruin the animation. But in this tutorial, I'll show you how I finally figured out how to solve that problem. And we're going to take that, go into geometry nodes, and make a really, really cool animation. There's actually a lot of stuff in this tutorial that you can walk away with some new knowledge, and you get to make one of my favorite animations when I can sort of tastefully use RGB coloring in a tutorial, in an animation. It's super satisfying. So if you want to check that out, make this animation, and possibly learn a problem that you never knew you had, check that one out. Now, this last one is all about the new curve to tube node. You may have seen it before, maybe you haven't, but it is a geometry nodes feature. Within the node, there is a UV attribute, and we are going to learn how to use the UV attribute, create some geometry with curves, and then when you use that UV, it makes putting materials on these way, way easier. If you're really new to geometry nodes, sometimes being able to apply materials to things in geometry nodes kind of feels like the Wild West and you don't know what to do. This will help kind of demystify a little bit of that. I use this UV trick all of the time. It's super powerful, and you'll walk away with a really cool animation as well. So if you want to check it out, like I've said about 100 times, they're all linked in the description. So there you go. Those are 10 ways that if you don't know what to do and you're just staring at a blank screen, you can watch those tutorials and hopefully walk away with some knowledge and make your own original idea. That's the whole idea here. So if you want to check those out, link in the description. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.